a break!
Welcome back, YouTubers. I am Jason Wiersema. This is Tankers Fantasy Football, and today we got to get it popping on some buy low, sell high trade targets, moving into your Week 3 matchups. But before we get it started, you know how we do here at Tankers Fantasy Football. Maybe you go down there, hit that like button for me. Maybe you don't. Maybe you hook me up with a subscription over there. Maybe you don't. Maybe you go fuck yourself. All right, we're going to break it right into Kenyon Drake. He's had 40 touches through the first 2 weeks. You know, he's had 2 receptions in each game. He's had 1 touchdown in that first week. But this upcoming schedule, I know these people drafted Kenyon Drake in that back end of the first, early second round, and they're really hoping for him to pop it off sexy. He's been in the teens, in the low teens for half PPR. These first couple weeks with this upcoming schedule is juicy as fuck, boys. So if your Kenyon Drake owner is willing to move on, I would jump all over, because he's got the Lions, the Panthers, the Jets, and the Cowboys coming up, and that is as juicy as it gets. Kenyon Drake's about to lose his goddamn mind, and if you're willing to pay the price, I mean, you know, I'd probably get him about 70 to 80 cents on the dollar out there, you know. They're a little bit salty about his involvement. Kyler Murray's running hog wild out there, stealing rushing touchdowns and the like. So, I don't know. You probably get him on 70 to 80 cents on the dollar. All right, Darrell Henderson. I'm not saying you probably can go out there and get him cheap after what he did this last week, but I'm a believer. I think Cam Akers, this thing's going to give him sideline for a couple weeks. Cam Akers necessarily hasn't really looked that studly in these first 2 weeks. Now Malcolm Brown has a broken finger. His role's going to be tapered back. I think Darrell Henderson might be the shareholder to be owning in this backfield moving forward. So if you still can go out there and get him on your waivers, get him on the cheap, maybe you already have him, stronghold if you already have him, Darrell Henderson. All right, James Conner, his value is absolutely in the dirt last week. He went out there and shit the bet on you week 1. Benny Snell went out there and looked like the man. Week 2, they handed the reins back to James Conner, and he got 16 for 106 and a touchdown. So I think the time is now, because James Conner is going to get hurt again. He fucking is. That's just what he does. So I think the time is now. I think his value is back up in that ass. I think you can go out there and get a return on your investment. So if you can do that, I would get off on the James Conner. James Robinson, I am a believer. I think he's a hold. I think he's a buy if you can get him at the right price. In this Dynasty League, like as I was doing the homework for the show, I got a sleeper alert for my Dynasty League boogers out there offering me Paris Campbell, who is gone for the season, so I'm just stashing a guy like Paris Campbell, apparently, and Rex Burkhead and Sony Michel, who are virtually dead to me. I mean, Sony Michel, don't fucking offer me trades with fucking Sony Michel in an instant fucking veto. Also was thrown in a 3rd round dynasty pick. So it was basically James Robinson for a 3rd round rookie pick next year, because I don't want anything to fucking do with the rest of those cock bums. So, you know, I rejected it in a matter of moments, of course. All right, moving on into the wide receivers. We got some Allen Robinson. He's at 18.6 full PPR combined fantasy points in his first 2 weeks, but he's also had 9 targets each in these first 2 games, and he's about to get sexy deluxe this week out there versus the Atlanta Falcons. So if you can go out there and steal some Allen Robinson from the Allen Robinson owner before he plays the Falcons and reminds them how sexy deluxe he is, I would look to do so. All right, we got some CeeDee Lamb. He is out-targeted Gallup in these first 2 weeks, 15 to 10. I am a believer in the CeeDee Lamb. I reached for him in a 12-team redraft in one of those big money FFPC leagues. I reached for him in the early 8th round because I wanted to get myself a piece of the CeeDee Lamb. I am a believer. I think as the season goes on, this freak will still just continue to swell, brother. So I think CeeDee Lamb is a guy to own in redraft as well. I mean, of course in Dynasty, but definitely in redraft. I think he is going to be a very startable flex option moving forward. All right, Deontay Johnson, he has 14 receptions in the first 2 weeks from 23 targets, which is absolutely insane. I think Deontay Johnson is going to be a solid, or dare I say, wide receiver 2 for the rest of the season. So I'm all in on the Deontay Johnson. He's a strong hold. If you have him, all in. I would not sell, but if you can somehow still wrestle him away from the owner, I would look to do so because I am a believer. Jerry Jeudy, the Driscoll's at the helm, but Cortland Sutton is on ice for the season. But I'm still looking to sell Jerry Jeudy. I don't know what it is. I just don't think he's going to look out there and just own the league and be sexy deluxe this first year, especially with Driscoll probably for the next month or so at the helm. I know Driscoll didn't look that bad out there, but Jerry Jeudy has not parlayed any of his action into some sexy shit yet, and I don't know. I'm just not willing to say this guy is a week in and week out staple in my lineup. If somebody in your league is and they're willing to buy him for somehow as a back-end wide receiver too, I would look to sell on the Jeudy. All right, we got some tight ends, dudes that I am believers in. We're not really necessarily talking about buying or selling them. I mean, I'm buying them if at all possible, but the owners are probably looking to hold on to their preciouses. I'm talking about Noah Fant, talking about Jonnu Smith. I was high on them in the offseason. They were my breakout guys. I value them higher than even like Tyler Higbee. For some reason, even Tyler Higbee had a 3-touchdown performance last week. I don't know. It was against the Eagles. The Eagles went out there and got ripped up by Thomas the first week with the fucking with the Redskins. So I don't know. I'm just not sold on the Tyler Higbee would being your sexy boy like Jonnu and Fant can be. All in on the Jonnu and the Fant. So you can get your little mitts on them. I would also look to do so. All right, boys, like to cut on my jib, like I said before, smash the piss out of that like button, hook me up with a subscription. You got any questions? You got any waiver questions? You got any trade questions? You got any who do I start questions? You got any life questions? Feel free, put all that shit down in the comment section below. I will get back to you. I always do. All right, boys, holler at me.
I'm hot as fuck, bitch.